What up, y'all? It's your man, Abuamerican, cowife.com. Make sure you go over there and sign up so you can get that 30% off before we go live, which is very soon. I've been saying that a while, but it's true. We came a long way in a short time. Abuamerican.com, betting guide, get over there. Make sure you get the right girl. Know what signs to look out for when you're looking for a girl. So, I was asked, paraphrasing the question because I'm not reading it, but I was asked on Twitter in a DM, why do you always go from the position that women are wrong, and men are right? And I mean, just paraphrasing it, because I'm not reading it while I'm driving. And it's just not true. I mean, if you look at my channel, if you watch my channel, it's obvious that you don't watch my channel. You would know that I'm of the position that, with men, it doesn't have to be your fault, but it's always your responsibility. All my failed relationships, I'd say 80% of them aren't my fault, but they're all my responsibility at the end of the day. So it is what it is. It doesn't matter whose fault it is. It could be 100% her fault, but it's 100% the man's responsibility. Even women, kind of recognize this, because y'all blame, I don't know if this is a woman, but it seems like it's a woman, but women blame men for everything. He can be the perfect guy, and when the relationship breaks up, what do? They paint him as some horrible monster who, mistreated her somehow or another, and she'll find some creative, truly creative ways to paint him as a bad guy if he's the perfect man. So I don't act like women are always wrong, but I recognize when women are wrong. You see, what happens here and what's happening here is we're in a time when women can do no wrong. And I'm one of the few people who hold women accountable. Women wanted equality. Now when you get it, and equal accountability, and responsibility, oh, why do you always blame women? It's not always blaming women. Giving them their fair share, which is 50%, if not more, given like the current times we're in. If we look at the times we're in, women are pretty jammed up, And here's the reality: men have self-improvement. We've had self-improvement, red pill, if people hate it or not, whatever else. Men have been getting better, but there's no equal movement for women. There's no incentive for women to get better. It's quite the opposite. The men keep getting better, keep improving themselves, and these women keep getting these men. What's going on? I think my battery's dying. It said battery charge very low. So anyway, that's weird. So anyway, I guess I gotta buy a new battery. No problem. So it's not that I blame the women. It's just I hold them accountable for their share of the BS that goes on with all relationships. But at the end of the day, if you watch my channel, you know that I always tell men, it's not your fault, but it's your responsibility. If it goes wrong, that's it. It's your fault. It's on you. You got a bad woman that cheats, that doesn't cook, clean, whatever else. Think of all the bad things you can think of in a woman. Whose responsibility is it? It's yours. Maybe it's not your fault that she's horrible like that and she's a bad person, but you are responsible for letting her in your life. I always tell men this. I've always told men this, and I'll stand by it. So maybe you should just watch my channel more, I got asked a question by women. What can we do to, be better? Because you're helping men to be better and, look at the problems and the issues, whatever else. And that requires introspection. That means seeing the ugly truth of what and who you are. Nobody tells women that their BS is BS, but everybody tells men their BS is BS. So, this is part of that. This is part of that process. You got to see the BS for what it is. And there's a lot of it out there that women just don't want to recognize, or they recognize, but they just want to be in denial. Like, I don't want to see that, And I talk about this point a lot, that when it comes down to the worst aspects of female nature, there's a whole lot of go-girling out there. Boss, biatch, and all this type of stuff. Oh, she's a queen, she's a boss, she's a this, she's a that, for what we would generally consider to be bad attributes. But for men, you act like a dork, we're gonna call you out on the dork. We're gonna be like, yo, you clown, you joker, you idiot. We're gonna call them out. Even I'm gonna do it. And it's not simpiness. That's just how it is. Because men are used to being held responsible and accountable for their actions. Women somehow, they just want to just do whatever they want to do, and then like don't slut shame. They even want to just screw around and do whatever, just be absolute whores and not be called on it. Then when I call women on their BS, why are you always picking on women? You act like women are always wrong. I'm just calling them on their basic BS, and there's a lot of basic BS. It's gonna look like you're picking on somebody if one side accepts and acknowledges their shortcomings and the other side doesn't. So then when you're like, okay, hey bro, look, man, you're doing this, you're doing that, whatever, blah, 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 and you're looking just really goofy right now. All right, man, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I'll do better. Now you're looking doing this, and you're being goofy and whatever else. No, it's not like that. Yeah, but it's like this. Yeah, but blah, 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 blah. Then that person goes back and forth, aka women, and they won't accept and acknowledge their shortcomings. Well, then, yeah, the focus switches from the person who's acknowledged his shortcomings and just like said, okay, fine, I'll work on it. It switches to being a focus on the person who will not accept their shortcomings and will argue and debate with you the whole time. And not only that, we got an entire society of both men and women that will do that. They'll call you wrong for calling them out on their wrong. Am I picking on women? I'm not picking on women. I'm just calling them out for their basic BS. And then I get arguments back and forth about it. Brothers, they're like, all right, man, I'll work on this. We need to work on that. We need to fix this. We need to fix that. We need to do this. Because that's what we are. We're fixers. We're solution-oriented. Women don't want to hear nothing. And so what happens? We end up focusing on them in the hopes, false hope, that they'll recognize their BS. And if they won't, then at least it's good that brothers recognize their BS and see methods on how to deal with it. Man, Abuamerican, I'm out.